I told this story in church one Sunday, and don't know how many people remember it, but I'm going to share it again today. I had to come and help on a job my son had. It was one of our good customers that we've taken care of for years, and they had a air conditioning system that overflowed on the ceiling and had to redo it, and they got to get on 3 sets of scaffolding up high in the air, and you kind of just need that extra guy on the ground to watch out for everything. So I'm that extra guy today, I guess. And and besides that, I don't want my son to fall off of something and get hurt, because my wife would never let me hear the end of it. So I'm going to show you something right now, and I'm using the front camera on this thing, and I don't know how good a quality the front camera is. It seems like it's always worse. But here, I'm going to show you something that's going to kind of set the stage here. Don't know, heck, it's not going to, I can't see it with the sun. I think maybe you can see this here. You know, you see this nice pool and everything. The reason we're here working made me think of something that I had talked to you about in church. Now, I told this about 2 years ago, maybe. We did a job for an older couple that were retired, and they ended up buying a small farm and had a plantation house on it, and they cleaned it all up, and it looked real pretty. And so they wanted to remodel the inside of the house and add a place to park, like a big carport to park under, and a outdoor kitchen where they could cook and entertain people. So we're over there working, and we would park in the back behind the barn where the tractors and everything were, and then we would walk up to the front where we were working on the house. And one morning, one of my workers shows up a little early, and the owner was out there in the shop working on his tractor, and my worker parked and said hello, and so the worker started walking towards the house. Well, at the same time, the owner decided to come on up to the house too, to see, kind of help us get started. And while they were walking up, my worker and the owner had a little conversation. And later, the worker came to me when we took our first break, and he was sitting down there, and he said, man, I was talking to the owner this morning, and he said something that I don't know exactly what he meant. And I said, well, what were you talking about? And my worker said, I told him that he had a real pretty place, and it was real nice. And I told him that if I ever win the lottery, I'll have me a place like this. And the owner told him a broom was my lottery. And the worker asked me, he says, what did he mean by that a broom was his lottery? And I said, well, what that means is that his lottery was, his first job was sweeping floors. And that's where he started. He didn't wait till he got a lottery. He went ahead, got a job, and his first job was sweeping floors. And that's what the broom represents, is that his hard work was his lottery. He wasn't gambling, or he wasn't counting on luck. He worked hard, and actually this guy invented a procedure that will unload and load very dangerous products at the on the bank of the river without letting them escape into the atmosphere. And then he marketed that and came out in good shape, and he put in quite a few ports up and down the Mississippi River. Anyway, but here the point was, the older man told my young worker, my lottery was a broom. And my worker really didn't understand that. And after I explained it to him, the worker, I'm not sure, really did know that. So what I'm getting at, I guess today, and while I had to come on this job, and this is the real nice place, and I would think that some of my workers that through the years would come to a place like this, and they would think the same thing. Man, I hope I can win the lottery someday so I can have this. And I'll tell you what they need. They don't need to buy a lottery ticket if they want a place like this. If they want a place like this, they need to go out and buy one of these. And that's how you get started to where you can have a place like this. I'll see you in church Sunday.